Hello everybody, Zip here. I've got a hastily prepared review for everybody of the HMS Gallant. The HMS Gallant is currently available in our Easter event, which is going on over the next 4 days. I did some quick math. I realized that there's no way I could play enough battles to be able to get this ship the straight up freeway. So I basically decided to buy some crates. I spent what I was prepared to spend if I was buying the ship outright. And on my last crate, the 8th crate I believe it was, I managed to nail the 20,000K. This is probably not typical, but my wife always tells me I'm full of it. I can only assume she means luck, because I was super lucky and I got the Gallant. I was hoping to at least get enough eggs to be able to accomplish the grind over the next 4 days and get the ship that way. But really, nailing the 20,000, that was pretty awesome. Given how much I've spent in the game, it's nice to when things work out that way. Anyway, this is a Gallant. She's a handsome-looking ship, and if you look at her stats, she looks pretty plain. But there's more to this ship than meets the eye. So first off, let's look at the armament. The ship has some, for lack of a better term, lackluster guns. They are 119mm. There's 4 of them, each in single turrets. Rate of turns 10 degrees with the base stats, but you can get that up to 12 degrees with equipment. The guns seem to have decent penetration despite being only 45 caliber. I've actually citadeled some cruisers with these guns. They were low damage citadels, but they were citadels nevertheless. That's pretty cool. The real business end of this ship, though, are the torpedo tubes. There are 2 torpedo turrets with 4 tubes each located in the middle. They rotate all the way around, which is fantastic. So good torpedo arcs off both sides. The damage output's around 3.2K, same thing you'd expect from most 533mm torps. In practice, 27 to 3,000 is about what they actually land. So again, pretty regular. Now what's interesting is they do have 7.8 kilometer range, and the ship's camo puts it well within the torpedo range before you get detected, so that's fantastic. And the best part of these torpedoes is that when you narrow the focus down to shoot the narrow pattern, it actually turns into single tube firing. So you actually can fire individual torpedoes from these tubes. And what this means is you can make very wide patterns or very narrow, tight patterns for your torpedoes. This is super awesome. This is really an exciting ship. We don't have anything else like this in the game right now. I know that in the British line there's more of these, but that have the single tube. But right now this is awesome. Anti-aircraft, basically there is none. Forget about anti-aircraft. The ship doesn't really have any anti-aircraft, but it does have single tube fire. That's really all you need to know about the ship. It's just so awesome. You're going to see some examples of that in the battles coming up. Now, in terms of elite bonuses, I went with torpedo damage, as well as the flood increase. You could easily go with the reload time, but it really only knocks about 4 seconds, 4.5, 5 seconds off the reload time for the torps. I think that the damage increase as well as flooding chance increase is more worthwhile than the because the torpedo tube traverse is already super duper fast, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. Really, I think the torpedo damage and chance of flooding are the way to go. I bought the camo for mine. It didn't come with it. So really, the camo is worth it. Pretty standard main battery firing range, torpedo range are increased, which is fantastic. Traverse speed on the ship increased. This is awesome as well. Very welcome because this ship can really turn well. And the surface detection is reduced as well. Experience bonus 20%. That means she'll earn 20% more free experience, but free experience doesn't really have a lot going on with it in the game, so it's not super critical. As you can see here on the right, AA is 18. Forget it even exists. For the equipment, I went with the turret traverse increase. I thought about the reload, but doing the math, the reload only brings the gun reload down to 5.7 seconds. Had torpedo reload been offered here, I probably would have got that. But the turret traverse boost of 20% is what I went with. I thought about acceleration because the ship does have smoke screens, but I did go with the Traverse because I wanted to make the ship as maneuverable as possible because of the tight fighting that she's going to be doing. Plus, with that 10%, she's already one of the more maneuverable destroyers in the game. Turn time is 2.86, if I remember correctly, seconds. So with that added on there, so really, really maneuverable, fantastic. With the speed boost, she cruises at 38 knots with the supplies active. I thought about the concealment bonus because it would really help approach. And then I thought about the making it really crazy, super duper maneuverable. But I thought that the speed boost, I play solo a lot. Being able to carry is being able to get around the map easier. So the speed I thought was the best thing to go with. With the supplies, I did go with the increase to the camouflage as well as the reload and ship speed, the usual stuff. Moving into our first battle here, the ship accelerates very well. The ship has just wonderful handling overall. When you select the narrow pattern, you get the individual fire, and you can see the little hash marks there. Each one of those is a torpedo loaded in the tube. What's interesting about this is that if you fire 1 or 2 or even 3, the tubes won't start reloading until you get that 4th one out. So keep that in mind. That's a potential pitfall for the ship. If you forget to fire off that last torpedo, it's going to sit there unloaded and you're going to have less than your ideal amount of damage output there. So do keep an eye on that. Now, that being said, it's a wonderful opportunity with single fire. Let's say you've got 2 ships, 1 low health, 1 high health. You can fire 2 torpedoes into the low health ship, killing it, and save all the rest for the other high health ship. So there's a lot of possibilities that the single tube fire opens up, and one of the best possibilities you're about to witness right here. So ambush attacks with the single tubes, you can lay out a pattern that's almost impossible for somebody who's not expecting it to avoid. There is one counter to this, and I'll explain it, because even though I play this ship a lot, I've only got 300 subscribers, so I suspect that there probably won't be too many of you guys that I'm going to run into in battle that this is going to be an issue. But basically, you can watch me drop the pattern here. What this ship should have done facing this is turn immediately into the torpedoes. It's the only way to avoid this pattern with minimal damage. Otherwise, if you keep cruising, you're going to get hit bad and you're just going to be taken out real fast. So that type of attack is what this ship is capable of. A lot of people are going to scream overpowered. It's overpowered, it's overpowered. Possibly. It is certainly strong in the right hands. This ship doesn't have any armor. This ship, it cannot stand toe-to-toe with cruisers or very good other captains and other destroyers. If you are being focused, you will be taken out. So really, this ship relies on surprise and its unique torpedo pattern to be viable. The guns aren't going to win you too many battles. The guns, although they're accurate, although they can penetrate pretty well on AP, they just aren't going to, you're going to be chipping away at destroyers and cruisers forever with this damage output. So really, they're okay for finishing off. With a 4% fire chance, they're not going to be starting too many fires either, especially at a 6-second reload. If you had a 4-second reload, then maybe we could talk about that being a viable option. But really, the torpedoes are the main show here. And I've been trying to concentrate my torpedo attacks on battleship type targets. Slower ships like battleships, maybe some of the cruisers that cruise at about 32 knots maximum. I've been trying to go after those ships as much as possible because they can't avoid the torpedo pattern. I like shooting narrow torpedo patterns with this ship against those targets, those lumbering targets, because the narrow pattern is unlikely to have any torpedoes miss, which means maximum damage. When you fire a regular pattern for most ships, you can see the narrow pattern there, 1 or 2 torps might actually miss. Here, it's just like a laser beam. Boom. You get the maximum damage out of your torps. And again, people are going to say it's overpowered, but again, if you watch my health in this battle here, I'm relying on my smoke screen, my maneuverability. I have to work to survive. If you're a lazy captain, you're not going to win battles in this ship. But if you're a good captain, a conscientious captain, the potential is there to be very, very good in this ship. So again, I'm not going to call it overpowered. but in the right hands, a good captain's going to do a really good job with this ship, and you're going to see a lot of good players gravitate towards this ship because of it, especially once they see this video. A lot of people don't realize that a single tube is active on this ship. So when they find that out after watching this video, you can expect to see a lot more Gallants out there, which I don't think are going to break the game, but because there's going to be a lot of good players playing it, the impression is going to be that it's an overpowered ship. People are going to be crying overpowered. I know it's going to happen, but you know what? I've been knocked out of battles with this ship. I haven't shown any of those battles here, but it can happen. It's just a question of being focused. If you're going up against good teams and you have no support on your team, you're going to lose anyway, just like with any ship. This ship is not a guaranteed win, but if you play well, if you concentrate, if you've got situational awareness, like with many ships, this ship will reward you a little bit better than most other ships. The satisfying nature of this type of torpedo spread impacting a target is pretty awesome. This ship is loads of fun because of the way she can do damage. Would I buy this ship? Yes. Would I spend more money than what I spent on this ship? Yes. If my account got reset and I could only buy one premium ship, which one would it be? Ooh, that's a tough question. I think that out of all the premiums I have right now, I'm having so much fun with this ship and playing around with different ways of laying down the torpedoes that I'd have to say this is a one. This is the ship that I'm enjoying the most. Certainly my other premiums, I enjoy playing them, but I really, really like this ship. I've been gushing to my fleet mates all day about this ship since I got her. And it's exciting. I went into some co-op battles. I practiced laying down different types of patterns to see what would work, what wouldn't work before I went to actual battles, and had people depending on me. So really, this ship is, I love experimenting, I love figuring things out, and this ship is a learning experience, and that is maybe why I'm so excited about this ship. Okay, so I've gone over all the basic information about the ship. Sorry for the rushed nature of this review. I wasn't planning on doing a review today. The Easter event surprised me. Certainly getting the ship so early into the event also surprised me, and I figured, well, I better get a review out as soon as possible, even though I was planning on just chilling. I'm a little bit, don't feel quite that good right now. Got a little bit of like a small flu or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I feel run down. I feel tired. So I was planning on turning in early tonight and just relaxing a bit, but I wanted to get this review out there in case people are trying to decide if they're going to spend money or not on getting the ship. I wanted to inform people. I want to be perfectly clear here too that this ship will rock for people who play destroyers well. If you're a battleship person and you're used to playing battleships and you buy this because of this review, because I'm so excited in that, I don't know how well you'll do. Maybe buy some tech tree destroyers around tier 4 or 5, or if you've been grinding up a line, or you can quickly grind up one of those lines and see if you like playing destroyers before you make that jump. This review is more aimed at destroyer captains who may not be aware of how great this ship is and may just let her pass, only to eventually encounter the ship in battle and go, man, why didn't I buy that ship? We had that with World of Tanks Blitz occasionally. People would not buy a tank and then realize that the tank was actually pretty darn good and capable and fun, and then regretted it afterwards. So I'm trying to help people not have that kind of regret. So as you can see there, what just transpired was I fired some torps. The pattern wasn't working out. The ship was going to avoid them, so I stopped firing the torps, changed positions, and continued firing the torps. Single fire lets you do that. So again, it's really unique that way, but you have to think about what you're doing first. It's not an instant win, but the ship will reward good players. And I think I'm just going to end it here because, again, I wasn't planning on doing a review tonight. Kind of just wanted to chill out, but I wanted to get this out so you guys would know what the ship is like before you decide to spend money on it, or to let you know that you probably should spend money if you like this type of gameplay. So watch the remainder of this battle and watch the next battle after it. So there's another battle after this one. I highly recommend, before you spend any money trying to get this ship, and I do believe because of the nature of this event that you kind of have to. Mathematically speaking, it's really tough to get this ship for free, but I do think she's worth spending a little bit of money. And do grind the event, try to get as many of these Easter eggs as you can, and maximize the eggs. That way you minimize the payout, and then finish off the egg requirements with the crates. I do think it's worth spending some money on the ship, especially if you enjoy destroyers. Go ahead and do it. This ship is awesome. So again, watch the remainder. This way you're fully informed. Don't come back to me and say, hey, Zip, I don't really like this ship too much. It's I have to go fast, and I have to turn around, and I have to think about what I'm doing. Yeah, so this ship isn't for everybody, but if you like destroyers, you're going to like the ship, especially if you like the U.S. line of destroyers. She plays and handles very much like one of the U.S. destroyers, but she also has the decent camo and long enough range torpedoes that you kind of get a taste for the Japanese destroyer line as well. But the individual firing torps, what can I say? It's just so fun. But you can see my health right here. The ship is not overpowered. The ship requires good play style, sound fundamentals, and an understanding of the game to get the most from it. But if you know those things, this ship is awesome. So go ahead and pick it up. It's got my seal of approval all the way. Thanks for watching.
Our team captured the area. Engine boost activated. We hit the enemy! Destroyed an enemy ship. Our team is about to win. General quarters. Capture Area C. Affirmative. Our team captured the area. Enemy team captured the area. Enemy target spotted. Enemy torpedoes spotted. Engine boost activated. Torpedoes! team captured the area. We destroyed an enemy ship. Our team captured the area. Nice shot! Our team is about to win. Our team is about to win. Engine boost activated.